Welcome to DRIVIN, a show where a guy you don't know tells you about cars you may not care about. And since I'm starting the show off solo, I'm also introducing a new segment called Quick Dismissals. The new Porsche Panamera is out, and it looks just like the old one. The new Camaro Z28 has 500 horsepower, exactly 80 less than the ZL1, for a price they won't tell us. There's a new Jeep Cherokee, and it's ugly. So what else is new? Scion is considering making a luxury brand. Why? Is there an abundance of rich people who also like to look stupid? Kia has teamed up with DC to ruin all of your childhood heroes. Although Hulk Smash loses some of its potency when your insurance adjuster informs you that your car is now worth less than a comic book. CarInsurance.com ran a survey and discovered that 50% of licensed drivers today would not pass a driver's test. That's about 49% more than I would have thought. Hennessy's Venom GT has hit 265 miles per hour. But who cares, because it's not like they're going to let me drive it. Mini has sold over 500,000 cars, which is odd because I thought there were more old men who couldn't afford Corvettes and or single mothers in the US than that. Looking to throw 60 grand in the toilet? Well, congratulations, because Hyundai has released a new Equus, and it's all brown, so flush away. BMW is making the X4. Finally, another pointless SUV for douchey college kids. Land Rover is aborting its SUV convertible called the Evoque Cabrio. Now, if you wanted an SUV with a drop top, looks like you're stuck with the Nissan Murano convertible. Or you could just buy a Wrangler like all the other male cheerleaders. The Mustang, Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds, is up for auction. So mark your calendars, because a car Nicolas Cage drove is finally worth more than he is. And this has been Quick Dismissals. Now I hope you enjoy our review of the Porsche Panamera Turbo. I know I may or may have not.
Like a bobblehead.
This is the Porsche Panamera Turbo. For me, there's a lot to like about this car, but there's really not a lot to love. I mean, everything is very nice. It's just all of this kind of just comes at you, and you realize as soon as you get behind the wheel, okay, what do I do now? Like, you've got the GPS on the main screen. Obviously, you can change that to whatever you'd like, but it also provides you with the GPS in the little window next to the speedometer and the tachometer. The problem with that is once it's on the big window, I don't need the little one anymore. Or, if it's on the little one, why do I need it on the big one? Or if the little one isn't big enough, why even put the GPS there at all? At no point am I thinking that, you know what, I'd rather know what station I'm listening to rather than where I'm going. This car is very German. The shifter, I won't call them paddles, but the shifters on here, the ones on the back go down, but the ones on the front go up. And that's weird. But if for some reason you don't like that, you can always grab the, well, I don't want to call it a penis, but there's really no other way of putting it. You can always slap that thing over into its own automatic manual mode. So why do you have two ways of automatically shifting? It's engineered. That's what I'm talking about. It's not designed, it's engineered. Steering wheel's nice, seating position isn't bad, but you know, with this price, I would expect it to have all of those things anyways. The other thing is even though it is ridiculously huge, it feels ridiculously huge. You know, I expected this car to be a lot more mechanically smoother, but it kind of isn't. The throttle on this is really stiff for some reason. Like, it has one of those things where you press down a little and it goes, and you're like, oh, there's more throttle, and then it just kind of clicks in and then away you go. Suddenly there's too much power. Now if I take it out of sport mode and put it into regular mode, it does kind of smoothen out the ride. But the stiffness of the throttle is still there. The staccato effect of the shifts are still there. It definitely rides like a Porsche. I am also amazed at how noisy it is in here. For the price you're paying, it should be a lot quieter.
Saying, yeah. A lot of road noise.
Yeah, like I said, I took it out of sport mode, but it's still kind of noisy. And to compound that, the mirrors that they put on here are so small, it only makes it feel even larger. Or that there are even bigger spots you can't see out of. But maybe that's because the thought process is you'll be going so fast anyways, you don't need to look behind you. When you are in a two-door supercar, it is you and another person. And while that person may be your loved one, a spouse, a friend, whatever, there's really just two of you. And a lot of these cars are all about that shared experience. So with this car, it suddenly becomes not a supercar, but a roller coaster that you yourself direct. I don't know how many people I would trust to direct my roller coaster by hand, but I guess it's nice to know that it's out there. The other thing is, because the car is so large, I constantly, whoa buddy, oof, I constantly worry that I don't fit anywhere. Like, it is really big, because you're sitting down low in that 911 Porsche position, but then you don't realize that you've got like an extra 2.5 feet strapped onto the back of you. And in America, you know, we all give enough space to the person in front of us. So why would you buy this car, say, over a comparable Mercedes or a Maserati or the four-door Aston Martin? The reason why you choose this car is because of all of this. It's not just the format, it's not just the layout of the car, it's the fact that it has so much going on. This car wasn't designed, it was completely engineered. And I use that term specifically for this car. With this car, you have to have that special part of your brain that loves this stuff. Because if you don't, this car won't work for you. You won't enjoy it as much as you should. Unfortunately, that's not the kind of brain I have either. I mean, I like gadgets and I like buttons and all those kinds of things, but this just has too much of both. I mean, at first I thought this was really confusing. I mean, yes, it has pictures and eventually you can figure those out. But the problem is you don't want to have to figure them out while you're driving. So then you also don't want to sit here waiting to drive, trying to figure out how your car works. And then I looked up and I realized there was basically an entire separate system that I don't even want to mess with. Really, all I want to do is drive. But if that's how your brain works, then this car's for you.